The strange lights appeared in the night sky over New York first. They twinkled with an odd crystalline shine that no human-made satellite had ever shown before. Within hours, similar lights appeared over Beijing, London, and New Delhi. The world held its breath, wondering if this was the moment humanity had waited for, or feared, throughout its entire existence. They called themselves the Meadow People. Their ships looked like gardens made of crystal and light, floating gracefully above Earth's major cities. When they broadcast their first message, it wasn't in words, but in images and feelings. Scenes of their beautiful homeworld being destroyed, their people fleeing, and their desperate search for help. Admiral James Stone stood at the United Nations emergency meeting, his weathered face illuminated by the holographic display showing the alien vessels. "They're refugees," he said, his voice carrying across the silent chamber. "And they're being hunted." The Meadow People's ambassador, a being that looked like a collection of transparent crystals arranged in a roughly humanoid shape, stood before the UN Security Council. Through their newly established communication system, they shared their story. Their civilization had flourished for thousands of years, developing incredible healing technologies that could cure almost any illness. But this same technology had attracted the attention of the Dominion. The Dominion believes the strong should rule the weak, translated the AI system the Meadow People had provided. They take what they want. They destroy what they cannot take. We refuse to serve them, so they came to take by force. The images they shared next made even the most hardened military officers shift uncomfortably. Entire crystal cities reduced to rubble. Meadow People being harvested for their healing properties. A civilization of peace being systematically destroyed by an empire that valued only power. "We searched for help among many worlds," the ambassador continued. "Most feared the Dominion too much to act. But we found stories, echoing across space, about a young species, one that had nearly destroyed itself many times but always survived. A species that fought fiercely, but could also show great kindness. We followed these stories to Earth." President Helen Martinez stood up, her decision made. "Humanity knows something about facing bullies," she said, looking directly at the crystalline ambassador. "We know about fighting against those who would take freedom from others. The United States offers sanctuary to the Meadow People, and we call upon our fellow nations to do the same." One by one, the nations of Earth agreed. Within days, the first refugee centers were established. The Meadow People shared their healing technology freely with their new allies, and human doctors worked alongside crystalline healers in hospitals across the globe. Cancer rates dropped to near zero. Organ failure became a thing of the past. It was a partnership that benefited both species. But Admiral Stone knew this peace wouldn't last. He ordered the Earth Defense Force to full alert and began organizing planetary defenses. His years of experience told him that the Dominion wouldn't let their prey escape so easily. He was right. Exactly 1 month after the Meadow People arrived, every communication device on Earth received the same message. The hologram showed a massive figure in ornate armor, its multiple eyes glowing with cold intelligence. "People of Earth," the Dominion commander's voice boomed in every language simultaneously. "You harbor fugitive specimens that belong to the Dominion. Return them immediately, and we may show mercy. Resist, and we will take them by force. You have 3 Earth days to comply." Admiral Stone looked at the Meadow Elder, who had become his friend over the past month. The crystalline being's glow had dimmed with fear, but Stone smiled, a smile that had nothing to do with happiness and everything to do with determination. "Send a message back," he ordered his communications officer. "Tell them humanity has made its choice, and remind them they're not the first bullies we faced. They won't be the last we defeat." The galaxy was about to learn why humans were considered the most dangerous species in known space, not because they were the strongest or most advanced, but because they simply refused to give up when protecting those they called friends. The massive screens in the Earth Defense Force Command Center showed the Dominion fleet approaching from beyond Mars. Admiral Stone stood before the gathered military leaders and alien representatives, his uniform crisp despite having worked for 36 hours straight. "They expect us to surrender," he said, looking at each face in turn. "They think we're primitive because we've only recently reached space. That's going to be their first mistake." The Meadow Elder's crystalline form sparkled with worry. "Admiral, their ships number in the hundreds. Each one could destroy a city. We cannot ask Earth to face this threat for us." Stone walked to the Elder and placed a hand on its cool, crystal surface. "You didn't ask. We chose. Now, let's show them why that choice matters." He turned to his communications officer. "Is the message ready?" "Yes, sir. All historical footage compiled and translated." "Send it." Across every Dominion ship, every screen lit up with Earth's response. The message began with ancient paintings of human battles, then moved to actual footage. Stone's voice narrated over the images. "You call us primitive." His voice echoed in the Dominion command language. "Perhaps we are. We still fight with passion rather than just technology. We still bleed. We still die. But that's what makes us dangerous." The footage showed the Battle of Thermopylae, recreated in stunning detail. 300 soldiers once held off an army of thousands, choosing death over surrender. Then World War I footage rolled. We fought across entire continents, under the sea and in the air, sacrificing millions to stop those who would rule by force. Modern warfare footage followed, showing the precision and determination of Earth's forces. We've spent our entire history fighting, usually ourselves. We've gotten very, very good at it. In the Dominion flagship, the High Marshal watched with growing unease as the message continued. The humans were showing battles where smaller forces defeated larger ones, where determination overcame superior technology, where sacrifice led to victory. "You think we're weak because we protect the Meadow people," Stone's voice continued. "You think we're foolish because we stand against a superior force. But you haven't considered the most important question." The footage shifted to show Earth's current military might: tanks, aircraft, ships, and the newly built space defense platforms. "If we're this good at fighting each other, imagine what we'll do to you." The last images showed human medical teams working alongside Meadow people healers, saving lives in hospitals across the globe. "They came to us for help. We gave them sanctuary. They're under our protection now." Stone's face appeared on screen, his expression hard as steel. "This is both a warning and a promise. Leave Earth space now. Leave our allies alone. This is your only chance to avoid finding out exactly how primitive we can be when we're fighting for those we've sworn to protect." In the Earth Defense Force Command Center, everyone waited in tense silence. The Meadow Elder's glow had brightened with hope as it watched the human leaders stand united. Minutes ticked by. Then the Dominion response came through. "You have made your choice. Prepare to." The message cut off abruptly as the Dominion ships began moving. Admiral Stone smiled grimly as he watched the massive fleet change course, moving away from Earth. "They're retreating," someone whispered in disbelief. "No," Stone said, checking the tactical display. "They're regrouping. They'll be back, and in greater numbers. But that's okay." He turned to face the room. "Because now they're worried. And a worried enemy makes mistakes." The Meadow Elder approached Stone. "You knew they wouldn't retreat completely." "Of course not. Bullies never give up after one morning. But we've done something more important." Stone's eyes gleamed. "We've made them think. And soon, they'll learn that humans don't make warnings we can't back up." As if to emphasize his point, defense platforms around Earth hummed to life, their weapons charging. Humanity's first interstellar war was about to begin, and they were ready to show the galaxy exactly why you don't threaten those under human protection. The Dominion attacked at dawn, Mars time. They thought the Red Planet's colony would be an easy target. After all, only 10,000 humans lived under its protective domes. What they didn't know was that humanity had been preparing for this moment for weeks. "They took the bait," Admiral Stone said, watching the tactical display from Earth Command. The Dominion fleet, nearly 50 ships strong, moved confidently toward Mars. Start the music. In space around Mars, thousands of small objects suddenly powered up. They looked like debris, scattered randomly in orbit. The Dominion ships sailed right into them. "What are those?" the Meadow Elder asked, its crystal form glowing with curiosity. "We call them space mines," Commander Lisa West explained, grinning as the first explosions lit up the void. "But these ones have a special surprise." The mines didn't just explode. Each one split into dozens of smaller devices that attached themselves to the Dominion ships' hulls. Inside the alien vessels, crews panicked as their systems began shutting down one by one. "Electromagnetic pulse weapons," Stone explained to the watching aliens. "Your ships might be advanced, but electricity works the same way everywhere." 3 Dominion ships crashed into each other, their navigation systems scrambled. 2 more spun helplessly, their engines dead. But the Dominion commander was no fool. The remaining ships quickly formed a defensive pattern. That's when the real attack began. From behind Mars' 2 moons, Earth's ships appeared. They weren't the sleek, advanced vessels the Dominion had expected. Instead, they looked rough and practical, built for war rather than show. "All ships, execute Battle Plan Thunder," Stone ordered. The Earth ships didn't move in the elegant formations the Dominion expected. Instead, they charged forward like ancient cavalry, seemingly chaotic, but each with a precise target. Missiles streaked across space, not aimed at the Dominion ships, but at points in front of them. "I don't understand," the Meadow Elder said. "They're missing." Stone shook his head. "Watch." The missiles exploded, creating clouds of metal debris. When the Dominion ships tried to dodge, they flew right into the paths of Earth's main fleet. The human vessels opened fire at point-blank range, their simple but powerful weapons tearing through the surprised enemy's defenses. "We studied your records of the Dominion's tactics," Stone told the Elder. "They always expect enemies to fight the same way they do, with fancy technology and traditional space combat patterns. We decided to fight like humans instead." On the main screen, an Earth ship rammed into a Dominion vessel, its reinforced hull crushing the alien ship's more elegant design. Both crews abandoned their ships, but the human escape pods were already being picked up by nearby vessels. The Dominion crew found themselves floating in space, their own rescue ships too far away to help. The battle lasted less than an hour. When it ended, 37 Dominion ships were destroyed or disabled. The rest fled, jumping away into deep space. Earth had lost 6 ships, but most of their crews had survived. "I don't understand." The Dominion commander's message came through, his voice shaking with rage and fear. "You're supposed to be primitive. Your technology is inferior. How did you defeat us?" Admiral Stone's reply was calm. "We've had thousands of years of practice at war. Did you think we'd stop learning just because we reached space? This is your second warning. There won't be a third." The Meadow Elder's glow had changed to a deep blue of amazement. "You sacrificed ships to win the battle. We've never seen such tactics." "Sometimes you have to sacrifice a piece to win the game," Stone said, looking at the battle reports. "But we never sacrifice without purpose, and we always make sure it hurts the enemy more than it hurts us." As the cleanup began, news of the victory spread across Earth. Humanity had won its first space battle. But everyone knew this was just the beginning. The Dominion would be back, with more ships and new tactics. Stone looked at the pictures of the 6 ships they'd lost, memorizing their names and crews. "Next time," he promised quietly, "we'll be ready for them too." News of humanity's victory spread across the galaxy faster than light itself. The Dominion had tried to keep the battle secret, but too many alien trading ships had witnessed the aftermath. Broken Dominion warships being dragged back to Earth as prizes of war. 3 weeks after the Battle of Mars, the first new aliens arrived. The shellmakers came in ships that looked like giant spirals, their vessels made from the same material as their own protective shells. They landed in the Australian outback, their leader immediately requesting a meeting with Admiral Stone. We watched. The shellmaker leader said, its spiral shell glowing with subtle patterns. We saw how you fought. The Dominion has troubled our borders for centuries, but we never dared to fight back. Until now. Stone studied the new aliens carefully. What exactly are you offering? We are engineers, the shellmaker explained. Our shells can withstand the pressure of ocean depths or the vacuum of space. We can help strengthen your ships, make them better, tougher. Before Stone could respond, another alien fleet appeared. These were the Wind Dancers, beings that seemed to float in the air like silver mist. Their ships were nearly invisible to radar, using technology that the Dominion had been trying to steal for years. The Wind Dancer representative spoke softly, its form shimmering. We bring stealth. We bring silence. We bring the ability to strike without being seen. Stone looked at the Meadow Elder, who had become Earth's closest alien advisor. What do you think? The Elder's crystal form sparkled. The Shellmakers are legendary builders. The Wind Dancers, master hunters. With their help, Earth ships could become something the Dominion has never faced. Within days, work began. Shellmakers reinforced Earth's ships with their incredible materials, making them 3 times stronger but no heavier. Wind Dancers added their stealth systems, teaching humans how to move unseen through space. But humanity added its own touch to everything. When the Shellmakers made armor, humans added angles to deflect enemy fire. When Wind Dancers installed stealth systems, humans added devices to fool enemy sensors with false signals. You think differently, the Shellmaker engineer told Stone as they watched the first upgraded ship leave Earth's orbit. We make things strong. You make them strong and tricky. The Meadow people contributed too, their crystal technology improving ship communications and healing systems. Soon, Earth's fleet was becoming something entirely new, a perfect mix of human warfare and alien technology. More species arrived each week. Some brought weapons, others brought defense systems. A few simply brought information about Dominion fleet movements. Each one had a story about Dominion cruelty, and each one saw Earth as their best hope for freedom. The Dominion's biggest mistake, Stone told his officers during a briefing, was letting us have this time to prepare. They thought their first defeat was luck. They're gathering a bigger fleet instead of attacking immediately. That's given us exactly what we needed. Time to get stronger. The Meadow Elder approached Stone after the meeting. The Dominion is spreading lies about Earth. They say you're bloodthirsty primitives who want to destroy galactic peace. Stone laughed. Let them talk. Actions speak louder than words. Every species that comes here sees the truth. We're defending, not conquering. We're protecting, not destroying. And that, the Elder's glow brightened, is why you're winning the real war. The war for hearts and minds. As if to prove the Elder's point, another alien fleet appeared in Earth's space that very moment. These were the Star Weavers, masters of space-time technology. Like all the others, they came not to conquer, but to join. Stone watched the new ships approach Earth. Each alien ally made humanity stronger. Each new technology made them more dangerous. The Dominion thought they were gathering a fleet big enough to crush Earth. They didn't understand that with each passing day, they weren't just fighting humanity anymore. They were fighting the combined strength, technology, and determination of every species that had ever dreamed of freedom from their rule. The Dominion attack fleet appeared at the edge of the solar system, over 500 warships strong. Their massive vessels blocked out the stars, each one bigger than anything Earth had ever built. They moved in perfect formation, their weapons charged and ready. Admiral Stone stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Defender, watching the enemy approach. Right on schedule, he said calmly. Are all civilians evacuated from the outer colonies? Yes, sir, Commander West reported. Mars and Luna bases are empty. Everyone's safe in the underground shelters on Earth. The Dominion commander's message boomed across all channels. Primitive humans, your time of defiance ends today. Surrender the Meadow people and your other stolen allies, and we might let your species survive as our servants." Stone smiled. Send response planned thunder. Across the solar system, hundreds of seemingly empty spots in space suddenly shimmered. Wind Dancer stealth technology deactivated, revealing Earth's true fleet. The Dominion commanders watched in shock as over 1,000 ships appeared, each one protected by Shellmaker armor and powered by Meadow Crystal technology. "That's impossible." The Dominion commander's voice shook. "Our spies reported you only had 300 ships." "We learned from history," Stone replied. "Never let the enemy know your true strength. Now witness what humanity and its allies can really do." "Execute Operation Thunderstrike," Stone ordered. The battle began. Earth ships moved in strange patterns the Dominion had never seen before, breaking every rule of space combat. Small fast vessels darted between the enemy's giant warships, their Wind Dancer stealth systems making them nearly impossible to track. Shellmaker armor absorbed hits that should have destroyed them. But it was humanity's tactics that truly shocked the Dominion. Earth ships didn't just fight. They worked together in ways that seemed impossible. When Dominion vessels fired at one target, it would disappear using Wind Dancer tech, only for 3 ships to attack from different angles. "They're splitting up their fleet," Commander West reported. "Just like you predicted, sir." Stone nodded. "Activate the minefields." Thousands of space mines, hidden by Wind Dancer technology, activated throughout the battlefield. But these weren't like the simple mines from the Mars battle. These had been upgraded with Meadow Crystal technology, creating energy webs between them that trapped Dominion ships like flies in a spider's web. The Dominion commander's voice came through again, this time with real fear. "What kind of primitives are you? This technology, these tactics, we're humanity," Stone replied. "We take the best from everyone, learn from everyone, and turn it into something new. That's what makes us strong." The battle raged for hours. Dominion ships fell one by one to Earth's combined fleet. The Shellmaker armor proved its worth as Earth vessels survived hits that should have vaporized them. Wind Dancer stealth let them strike from impossible angles. Meadow Crystal technology kept their ships powered far beyond normal limits. When the Dominion finally called a retreat, they had lost over half their fleet. Earth's losses were minimal, thanks to the combination of alien technology and human tactical thinking. "They'll be back," Commander West said, watching the enemy flee. "No," Stone replied, checking his tactical display. "Look there." On the screen, dozens of new ships appeared, more alien species, arriving to join Earth's alliance after watching the battle from afar. Each one had seen how humanity fought not for conquest, but for protection. Each one had watched Earth combine different species' strengths into something greater than the sum of its parts. The Meadow Elder's crystal form glowed brightly. This was never just about defending Earth or even the Meadow people, was it? Stone shook his head. This was about showing the galaxy a different way. Not conquering like the Dominion, but working together, taking the best of each species and using it to protect everyone. As the fleet regrouped, Stone knew the war wasn't over. But today's victory had shown everyone something important. When humanity defends its allies, it doesn't just fight. It changes the rules of the game entirely. 2 months after the Great Defense of Earth, Admiral Stone stood before the combined fleet. Ships of all shapes and sizes filled the space around Jupiter. Earth vessels with their new hybrid technology, Shellmaker spiral ships, Wind Dancer stealth cruisers, and dozens of other alien designs. For too long, the Dominion has been the bully of the galaxy. Stone's voice reached every ship. They thought we would hide in our own solar system after defeating them. They were wrong. Today, we take the fight to them. The fleet jumped into hyperspace, using Star Weaver technology to move faster than any Dominion ship could follow. Their first target, a Dominion mining world where enslaved shellmakers were forced to build warships. Remember the plan. Commander West told the fleet captains, "Small groups, hit hard, disappear fast. Fight like humans, not like they expect." The liberation of the mining world took less than 6 hours. Wind Dancer ships slipped past the defenses and disabled the orbital platforms. Earth vessels, hidden by stealth fields, appeared suddenly next to Dominion warships, firing from point-blank range. Shellmaker armor shrugged off return fire like it was nothing. But it was the ground assault that really showed how humanity had changed space warfare. Instead of bombing from orbit, human Marines used Wind Dancer tech to slip into the prison camps unseen. They freed the slaves and turned the Dominion's own defense systems against them. "This isn't possible," the Dominion commander transmitted as his forces retreated. "You're fighting like guerrilla warriors," Stone finished for him. "An ancient human tactic. We're very good at it." World after world fell to the Alliance's hit-and-run attacks. The Dominion never knew where they would strike next. They would move their forces to protect one system, only to find that Earth's fleet had already freed 3 others. Each liberated species joined the fight, adding their own strengths to the Alliance. The Rock Shapers brought their planet-cracking weapons. The Lightbenders added their hologram technology. With each victory, Earth's forces grew stronger while the Dominion grew weaker. "I don't understand," a captured Dominion officer said to Stone. "Your ships are smaller. Your weapons should be weaker. How are you winning?" Stone showed the officer footage from human history, ancient armies defeating larger forces through clever tactics, resistance fighters undermining mighty empires, smaller nations outblasting bigger ones. "We learned long ago that it's not the size of the force that matters," Stone explained. "It's how you use it. We don't try to match your strength. We use it against you." The Meadow Elder, watching from Earth, sent a message to Stone. "The Dominion's own people are starting to rebel. They see our success and want freedom for themselves." This was what Stone had been waiting for. The Dominion had ruled through fear, making everyone believe they were invincible. But now the galaxy had seen them defeated again and again by the combined forces led by humanity. "Send the message to all Dominion worlds," Stone ordered. "Tell them what we've been telling everyone. We're not here to conquer. We're here to free. Anyone who wants to join us will be welcomed." The response was beyond anything they had expected. Dominion warships began defecting, their crews tired of fighting for a losing cause. Entire worlds declared independence, protected by Earth's growing fleet. Commander West brought the latest reports to Stone. "Sir, the Dominion has lost control of half their territory. Their empire is falling apart." Stone nodded, looking at the map of liberated worlds. They never understood their real weakness. They thought being strong meant standing alone. "We showed the galaxy that true strength comes from standing together." The counterattack had become more than just a military campaign. It had become a revolution, spreading a new idea across the stars, that different species could work together, combining their strengths and protecting each other. And at the heart of it all was humanity, teaching the galaxy how to fight against impossible odds and win. The Dominion's capital world hung in space before the combined fleet, its once mighty defenses now silent. On the bridge of the Defender, Admiral Stone watched as the final surrender message came through. "We were wrong about humans." The Dominion High Marshal's voice carried no trace of its former arrogance. "We thought you primitive because you were young. We didn't understand that your youth was your strength." Stone looked around his bridge. Humans worked alongside meadow people, shell makers, and wind dancers. Each species brought their own skills, but they moved together like a single crew. "Your surrender is accepted," Stone replied. "All Dominion military forces will stand down. All enslaved peoples will be freed, and you will help rebuild what you tried to destroy." The peace ceremony took place on Earth, in the Great Hall of the United Nations. Representatives from over 200 species attended. The Dominion High Marshal removed his ceremonial armor and laid it at the feet of the Meadow Elder, a gesture that would have been unthinkable just 1 year ago. "Let the galaxy remember this day," President Martinez announced to the assembled aliens. not as the day an empire fell, but as the day we all chose to stand together. The Meadow people had prepared a special gift to mark the occasion. In the center of New York, they grew a massive crystal monument. Unlike normal crystals, this one showed moving images, scenes from the war, but not of battles. Instead, it showed moments of cooperation, humans healing alien wounded, shell makers teaching Earth engineers, wind dancers, and human pilots flying together. "We will remember humanity's strength in war," the Meadow Elder said. "Its glow soft and warm. But more importantly, we will remember your kindness in victory." New laws were written to protect all species. The Mutual Defense Pact, drafted by human lawyers working with alien councils, guaranteed that an attack on one species would be treated as an attack on all. The Dominion's former territories were returned to their original inhabitants, with Earth providing protection during the transition. In the years that followed, a strange thing happened. Aliens began adopting human customs, not because they had to, but because they wanted to. The shell makers started playing human sports, adding their own twists to make them work in 3 dimensions. The wind dancers fell in love with human music, creating new instruments that could play in frequencies no human could hear. But the biggest change was in how the galaxy fought its wars. The few conflicts that did break out were quickly stopped by rapid response teams using human tactical doctrines combined with alien technology. The saying spread across the stars: gentle as humans in peace, fierce as humans in war. 10 years after the first Meadow people arrived on Earth, Admiral Stone stood on the deck of a new ship. The Peacekeeper was the first of its kind, a vessel built by all species working together, combining the best of everyone's technology and ideas. "Did you ever think it would turn out like this?" Commander West asked him, watching alien and human children playing together in the ship's garden. Stone smiled, remembering that first warning he had sent to the Dominion. "We told them what would happen if they fought us. We just didn't tell them what would happen if they joined us instead." The Meadow Elder, now Earth's ambassador to the Galactic Council, approached them. "You know what the young ones call you now. The human who changed the stars." Stone shook his head. "No, we all changed the stars. Humans just showed everyone that it was possible." As his ship patrolled the peaceful space lanes, Stone thought about how far they had come. Humanity had entered the galaxy ready to fight for its allies. Instead, they had taught the galaxy a better way to live, not through conquest or submission, but through standing together. The Crystal Monument in New York still showed its images, but now it had new scenes to share. Not of war, but of a galaxy united. Not of battle, but of billions of beings working together to build something greater than any one species could achieve alone. And at every galactic meeting, they still told the story of how humanity had changed everything. Not because they were the strongest or the most advanced, but because they were willing to fight for others, and then teach them how to stand together.